The best player in the NBA was embarrassed by the unstoppable Team USA. You better bet he is going to be out for revenge when the Olympics start. Pressure builds for him to deliver in Paris.
Threes, two sidestep threes.
Curry pull up. He backed another three. Steph has all the points. Here's Booker coming around the corner.
Cut.
Edwards, extra pass, got it to the corner. That three in the air is good. And Bam Adebayo knocks City to Charlotte late in this NBA season. Middle of the lane, Adebayo, no. Davis, the hammer.
Well, it seems like we call that name frequent on the floor. Gets the first touch, really.
Jokić right in his pocket. Edwards step back for three anyway. But he's a tremendous facilitator. Vasilije Jokić for three in a 6-0 run. LeBron takes matters into his own hands. And Curry went down after the make, so it was like 5 on 4.5.
Good point. I get a foul.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him.
No way. Steph Curry going down to the ground to knock down a three and a foul. Jokić met by Davis. And a takeaway. Look out below. Anthony Edwards with the stuff. 83-57. He do.
Very little then.
Oh, that is just smothered by Davis. Blotted out by the big right hand. Bam tried to go cross lane. Here's Curry. Doesn't need much room at all. Man, oh man, off the juggle for three.
That's as quick as I've seen him.
Adebayo. Hey! LeBron! Oh, dazzling!
The U.S. used its third different starting lineup, going with Curry, Jrue Holiday, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. The only constants over the three exhibitions have been Curry, James, and Embiid. One of the reasons Embiid's presence on the roster was a desire for the U.S. coaching staff. This cycle was to counter bigger teams like Serbia, which features a trio of 7-footers. Embiid's conditioning still isn't at its peak, but he was active on both ends, finding cutters on the offensive end and being an active deterrent in the lane on defense. On Gil's Arena, some remarks were left on the USA team, so let's look at some of these.
Team USA played their third exhibition game in preparation for the Paris Olympics, facing off with reigning MVP Nikola Jokić and his Serbia squad, who will also be the first Team USA's first game in the group stage of the Olympics. Team USA rolled out their third different starting lineup: Steph, Jrue Holiday, LeBron, Tatum, Joel Embiid. Steph Curry scored the first 9 points. I'm out here.
Try it again, nigga.
That gentleman's on the cut. I'm on the cut. So Steph Curry scored the first 9 points for Team USA, but Serbia went on a run and tied things up at the end of the first quarter. But then Team USA exploded in the second quarter, paced largely by their second unit, take a 14-point lead in the half. Went on a 15-0 run to end the second quarter and start the third quarter, kept applying the pressure, going on to win 105-79 in their best showing so far of these three exhibition games. Steph Curry got Team USA going early, 18 points in the first half, finished with 24 points, going 6 for 9 from deep. Bam Adebayo had 17 and 8 rebounds. Anthony Edwards had 16 points. AD had 7 points, 6 rebounds, 6 blocks. Jokić led Serbia with 16 points, 11 rebounds in 28 minutes. How important is it for Team USA to finally fuck, man, this gentleman's cut.
Hey,
got me out my element. Do it.
I
didn't get through the read.
I see where I like Jrue Holiday. I like Jrue Holiday.
You like Jrue Holiday?
He from the Valley. You should.
No. Because listen.
He up from up the
No. I like him. No. I like
Oh.
Jrue Holiday just pure because obviously Valley dude, but on the team itself, my brain is stuck on how I seen. I'm a how like 80s people are about the 80s. That's how I am about the first Dream Team and the second Dream Team. It was all NBA. It was all NBA players, right? Just the one pass he made to Curry when he cut down the lane, caught it, and then just no look through the behind the back for Curry from the three. And I'm like, that's why they got him.
Stephen Curry was relatively quiet offensively during the U.S. Olympic team's first two exhibitions before the Paris Games. He got a lot more assertive on Wednesday with his official Olympic debut less than 2 weeks away. Curry scored 24 points. Bam Adebayo added 17, and the U.S. beat Serbia 105-79 to improve to 3 in its 5-game slate of exhibitions ahead of the Paris Olympics. Kevin Durant sat for the third straight break game as he continues to recover from the calf strain he suffered early during training camp. But guard Derek White made his debut after joining the team over the weekend as Kawhi Leonard's replacement.
This was a A- performance.
Oh.
This was Team USA at its finest, really, because, look, this is something that happened in the second quarter of this game. Steph Curry knocks down his fourth three-pointer. The fans here in Abu Dhabi are falling out of their seats. Steph's never played here before. He's putting on a show. He's got 18 points in 11 minutes. And he's subbed out. He's subbed out. Can you imagine Steve Kerr sending somebody to sub him out? And then you see Team USA's second unit come in, and it's Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Derek White. You're like, oh my God. I mean, we know who's on the roster, but when you actually see that second unit come in, it's like, wow. And that's what's been happening. There's two things going on here with Team USA. Their second unit is devastating teams. Just devastating them. They're running them over. They went on a 31-5 run in this game that basically broke Serbia because Serbia just couldn't handle that depth. The second thing is they've got great defensive big men. This is where they lost all the medals last year in the World Cup. They couldn't defend the interior. Well, guess what? Even against Nikola Jokić, boy, is it amazing to have two first-team all-defensive players to bring off your bench. That's Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo. They're switching. They're, doubling Jokić. They're dropping. They're doing all this stuff. AD with 6 blocks in this game, just terrorizing in there. And look, I know Joel Embiid is still not playing well. He's 2 of 8 in this game, but he's still 7'2" in there on Jokić, and he gets to go out after 5 minutes. And these two first-team all-defensive players come in. Jokić played the first 30 minutes of this game. The U.S. used 3 first-team All-NBA level players against him.
Right.
He didn't have a good game. The Serbians were missing a couple of key players. Bogdanović sat out. Nikola Maltinov, who's one of their big guys, sat out. They're playing the second night of a back-to-back. But this formula is how U.S. wins gold, and that's when we saw sort of at full power today. They can play better still, but this was pretty close to full power.
That was quite a fine play from Team USA. They did tremendously well. Also, Kendrick Perkins has a lot to say about this blown-out win. Listen to what he has to say.
Well, I think, the part where Wendy was talking about the second unit, I mean, and not just offensively what they do, the impact that they have defensively, and it's contagious. We're watching Devin Booker, you're watching Anthony Edwards on the perimeter fight and get over ball screens, picking up 94 feet. All of a sudden, that's triggering the back line of that defense, that duo, the Kentucky boys, and Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo to be on the same page. It kind of looked like KG and Kendrick Perkins in 2008, that big-to-big tandem. But look, on the flip side of things, here's the thing that stood out the most, right? The physicality. The physicality of the Olympics and watching the NBA is night and day, and they're getting this done without Kevin Durant. He still haven't played.
Great point.
So just imagine you throw Kevin Durant in the mix, it's definitely going to be a problem. But I'm loving how Team USA stood on business today.
Beautiful in it. Having all these legendary features in a matchup against any team comes with a freight. Think about this. Team USA still has great picks that still need to feature in the game. It gets quite interesting now. On the Undisputed Show, Paul Pierce crowns USA as the gold winner, and he leaves a humorous statement. See this. There's more commentary on this legendary play. I doubt Jokić has been the world's best basketball player. Back at Gil's Arena, they left some comments on the shooting guard rotation.
All right, let's get back into Team USA. Let's get back into Team USA. That was a beautiful venture, courtesy of Gentleman's Cut, Steph Curry. Went on a whole trip around Los Angeles. Brandon, hopefully you'll return your love to LA at some point.
Yeah, when they start putting my respect on my name.
Okay.
Like,
We will
shout out
work on
Gardena,
that.
though. Gardena love me.
Okay, we will get you a proclamation.
Who the fuck is Gardena?
Gardena is right where you fly in. LAX, you go right to Gardena. It's right there when you fly in. It's 15 minutes from the airport.
Oh, we go to Burbank.
So I'm right in the middle.
Yeah, Burbank is the preferred airport of choice now. Less static. You can get right through. 5 minutes in between the security gate. But back to Team USA. How important is it for Team USA to finally look dominant like they did in this game against Serbia today?
How many more preseason games? Or
I think they got South Sudan, and then I believe one more maybe after that. So South Sudan and London, And then
I mean, it's like right now we know
in
like,
Germany. So South
it
Sudan
seems
and
like
Germany.
they're trying to figure out who the shooting guard is, right? Was it the shooting and the 3 guard, right?
They've been rolling out some.
They've been switching out the shooting guards, right? So far.
Yeah.
And the small forwards. So it seems like we know Curry, Braun, and Embiid.
Do we know that? Do we think that?
No, I just think those are the 3 that's been
consistent.
Consistent. I want to see what they do if they put Anthony Davis in and try that lineup with Anthony, see how it starts. But
and then put him at the 5, replacing Embiid. Or that's what I was going to ask.
Right now, I mean, he looks better suited for USA basketball.
No doubt it's all making sense. Team USA got the best player. Everyone is just good at the game. On The Herd with Colin Cowherd, Colin made a remarkable statement here. His co-host, Chris Broussard, has something to say about the USA team.
So I think he got snubbed, but overall the team is great. Colin, I look at this kind of as the 3rd iteration of the Dream Team. You obviously had 92, the originals, and then 2008, the Redeem Team, when we had to kind of put our foot down again, right, and win gold. And now you've got this iteration where we've got some all-time legends in LeBron, KD, and Steph. Then you've got kind of the next group of superstars from America like Anthony Edwards, and even guys in between like Anthony Davis. So this team, you know, and this, Colin, I hate to say it because we're going to roll this year. There's no doubt. This is the last time I think we'll be able to definitely send a team, and it's like there's no doubt we're winning.
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll win more in the future. We'll still win some gold medals, but it won't be definitive every single year again like it is now when we send our best guys.
As I said earlier, it is quite interesting to have these different years on the same court. Frank and Michael Wilbon also shared their reactions.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. After last night's All-Star game, baseball has the day off.
I'm Frank Isola, and so does Tony.
Oh,
He's
he
off.
matched it up.
I'm back.
He
He's
matched it
off.
up with his Nationals, I guess. He couldn't handle it.
All the sports are kind of on a break right now. Even the WNBA.
You know, at least
is taking
baseball's
off.
not doing like a week off, like
Yeah.
the NBA scene. They don't have a whole week.
I know.
Back to work.
All that time off's not good for you. Remember that. Remember that in
right.
August.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's coming soon. Welcome to PTI. Tony couldn't even make it to Wednesday. So we're here to do his work for him as our great friend, fill-in Frank Isola. Wow. Man.
Getting to be that
That's
time.
kind of an all-star welcome right there. Let's begin with Team USA rolling Serbia in today's pre-Olympics tune-up in Abu Dhabi. Steph Curry led the U.S. with 24 points. Anthony Davis came off the bench to add 6 blocks in 18 minutes. And the U.S. beat Nikola Jokic's team by 26. Frank, how did Team USA look to you?
You know what we look like? The gold medal favorites that we are.
Yeah.
We did not play great against Canada, against Australia. That was a little shaky. But this is against a Serbia team, like you mentioned, Nikola Jokić, and I get it. It's a friendly international exhibition, and the two of them will be in the same group, so we're going to see Serbia pretty soon. But this was a team that made it to the World Cup final last August and did not have Nikola Jokić, so it's a very good team. I love the way that Steph Curry played. You could see that Steph Curry, who does not have a gold medal, never been in the Olympics before, had 24 points. 18 of those were in the first half, and defensively, we were outstanding. I think this was the kind of performance that Steve Kerr wanted to see. The field is tough. It's probably the toughest field we've seen in the Olympics because of all the international players, Mike, that are in the NBA. But today in Abu Dhabi, we look like the best team, which we are.
Let's see what Mike has to say.
Well, Frank, there's no doubt this is the toughest field. This is the toughest, most talented, deepest field in the history of international basketball, whatever the tournament is. And this one coming up happens to be the Olympics. There's no doubt about that. And that's why I came into this month saying I expect the United States team, while favored by everybody everywhere, to be pushed. But Nikola Jokić and Serbia couldn't push them today. Now, earlier this week when Tony and I talked about this, we were giving out grades, and my grade is an I for incomplete.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know yet. Friendlies is like dealing with soccer. We don't know what the friendlies mean. I need to see sort of real contentious action, which, Frank, we figure to see contentious action because these teams are not going to be out there posing for selfies like they were in so many Olympics leading up to this one. They think they can win. So this is a good sign. What do I see from the United States? A great sign. And by the way, the fact that Steph Curry hasn't played, hasn't won one of these, he's full to the brim of wanting to represent his country and win. I think that's one of the best things the Team USA has going for it. And I think, obviously, Anthony Davis, when he can concentrate on defense, he wasn't bad offensively either, hit some threes. But when he can concentrate like that defensively, and Anthony Edwards doesn't have to be the star, but a star, if they can play together like that, Frank, you see great things.
By the looks of things, the USA team has broken some remarkable records. Yeah, they are doing great as a team. Frank went further to say something more.
Yeah, here's a couple of things that you like from the game. The U.S. was 16 of 36 on three-pointers. You need to make threes in the FIBA competition, these 40-minute games, if you want to win. They were 16 of 36. By the way, Bam Adebayo had 3 of them. He had 15 during the regular season for the Miami Heat. But Embiid, though, Joel Embiid would concern me. Fouled out against Australia, did not play well against Canada. Today, 2 for 8, 8 points, 8 rebounds. He's never played FIBA competition to this level before. And Jokic did not play the fourth quarter of this game, Mike. So are you a little concerned about Embiid the way that he's playing?
Still on ESPN, Brian made 2 valid points for Team USA to take note of. Let's see what he says.
Yeah, that's a good point, Malika. And let me just 2 points of note here. One, Steve Kerr said after the game, LeBron James, Steph Curry, and Joel Embiid are staying in the starting lineup. So you can, whether you agree with it or not, that's the way it's going to be. He may change the other guys around. The second thing is we have a minor update on Kevin Durant. He is making progress, getting closer, is what Steve Kerr said. I'm not sure we're going to see him on Saturday in London. The team flies to London tomorrow, but it seems like he's making progress, so that's one thing. To me, this really comes down to 2 things for Team USA, 2 giant bullet points going into the Olympics. One, the interior defense. Australia scored 68 points against them in the paint the other day. It wasn't just straight post-ups. It was a lot of other things, back cuts, offensive rebounds, leak outs. That's where this team is soft. That's where the U.S.'s challenge is, that interior defense. Not because of the way they play all the time, but because of how strong these other teams are, like with Victor Wembanyama and Rudy Gobert, Malika, as you bring up. I will point out, Serbia beat France in France last week, just so you know. The second thing is focus. I cannot say this emphatically enough because it seems simplistic, but I'm telling you, as someone who's covered Team USA for 15 years, the difference between a 48-minute game and a 40-minute game in FIBA is night and day. Yeah. All these times we see games where in the NBA where there's a 16-point, 18-point lead and the team comes back because teams that have leads tend to just let their guard down. It's not possible that you will get beat in FIBA doing that, and that's what the NBA players are kind of wired. This happened the other day against Australia. They're up 16 points. They let their guard down thinking the game is won. They're all of a sudden it's a 4-point game. They don't have that margin for error like they do in the NBA. Here, they get a big lead in the second half. They push it out. Definitely showed improvement on both of those fronts today.
It is important to note that Team USA is doing well, but taking heed to Brian's concerns will go a long way to ensure the Olympics wins and their Saturday game against Sudan. To end this narrative, let's see what some legendary players have to say about their game. What does Stephen Curry say about their win?
It's a lot of fun. Like all the guys on our team, everybody's here for a reason. We're trying to win, trying to bring our best selves to what we're doing. The fact that we're such high IQ guys. We try to just make the right play and utilize each other's strengths. We obviously know there's a challenge ahead when it comes to trying to win, 6 games in the Olympics, but it's easy to put these type of guys together because we all have different strengths, different weaknesses, but we're all very experienced and understand what it takes to play basketball at a high level. So it's been fun to try to put that together.
LeBron still has some remarks.
Nobody on Team USA is as familiar with Anthony Davis as you. What do you make of his impact through the first 3 games?
I mean, I see it every day. I've been my teammate for the last 6 years, so I see it every single day. It's just one of these talents that's, there's not many of them, so it's always a treat to be on the same floor with him.